Yes, I made my first $100 on Fiverr at the age of 17 without using any skill I already had. I used a strategy that most people ignore and it works very fast. Some common problems that new freelancers face when trying to start out on Fiverr is that they find themselves in niches that are actually very, very saturated, and it's very difficult to stand out and sell yourself this. Imagine finding yourself in a niche where those Pakistan guys and those India guys are willing to create a full stack website for just $10 to $50. How will you be able to compete with people like that? I tried selling in those saturated niches and I made like 20, 30, few dollars here and there, but it was not enough. So what did I do differently? Instead of forcing myself to say a skill I already had, I used a strategy called job servicing. So what is job servicing? Job servicing is easy. You say a skill you do not do yourself. You get the job, you get the order, and you look for another freelancer to do it at a cheaper rate, and you keep the difference. Basically, you keep the remaining profits at the end of the day. So how did I come across this strategy? I was still selling on those saturated niches, right? Which was the website design niche. And I was making a couple dollars, like 20, $30, but it was not enough. But one fateful day, I went to visit a friend of mine. Then I came across another of our mutual, and we were discussing, and he said he does freelance. I was like, oh, I do Fiverr also. And he showed me his Fiverr accounts. And I was shocked to see the niche he was in, right? There were just 500, it was up to 500. I think around 200 to 300 sellers in that niche. I was so shocked. And I was killing myself to say in those other saturated niches where there were 10,000, 20,000, 50,000 persons. So what I did is that I went to home, I studied the niche. I already knew how to create good gigs that rank already, right? Because I was able to say in those saturated niches. So imagine if I come to these less saturated, these less crowded niches. So I went to home, I created a new account, set up gigs on that niche, and after 2 3 days, I got my first order in that niche. It was like times 10 of how much I was making in the other saturated niche I was in. I was so amazed. It was like magic. So after getting the first order, I outsourced it to that friend of mine that was already in that niche. He did the job, gave it to me, I delivered it, I paid him, and I took the difference basically. So this is the strategy. You go on Fiverr and make your research. You look for niches that are not saturated. Don't just look for niches that are not saturated. You also look for niches that the average order value that niche is high, so that at the end of the day, once you pay the other freelancer, the difference will still be a lot for you to go on with basically. Then we set up the gigs properly. If you need a video on how to set up gigs and optimize your gigs basically to rank on Fiverr, just tell me in the comment section and I will do that. So after you set up the gigs, get the orders, you outsource it to someone else to do it.